Right now, something incredible is happening around the world, and most people don't even realize it yet. Because while everyone is scrolling social media, watching short videos, or going through their normal daily routines, a silent revolution powered by artificial intelligence is accelerating faster than any technological shift in history. And every single week, new announcements appear in the news about powerful AI systems, advanced chips designed specifically for artificial intelligence, robots that can learn tasks without being programmed, and tools that can create text, images, music, videos, and even entire businesses with just a few prompts. And this explosion of innovation is not only happening inside giant tech companies or research laboratories, it is quietly reaching everyday people through tools that anyone with a phone or laptop can use right now. Which means we are entering a moment in history where a small group of people who understand how to use AI effectively may suddenly gain a massive advantage in productivity, creativity, and even income compared to everyone else. And the strange part is that most people still think artificial intelligence is something complicated, technical, or only useful for programmers. But the reality is that AI has become something much simpler and far more powerful, because it can now act like a personal assistant, a research analyst, a teacher, a creative partner, a designer, a strategist, and sometimes even a problem solver that can compress hours of work into minutes. And this is exactly why a new category of knowledge is spreading across the internet known as AI life hacks. Small tricks that use artificial intelligence to simplify everyday tasks and dramatically increase efficiency. And once you understand these tricks, you begin to realize that the way most people work today is already outdated, because they are still doing things manually that AI can complete in seconds. For example, imagine the traditional way of researching a topic, where someone opens dozens of tabs, reads multiple articles, compares sources, takes notes, and slowly builds an understanding of a subject. A process that could easily consume hours, or even an entire day. But with modern AI systems, you can compress that entire process into a few prompts by asking an intelligent assistant to summarize the most important information, identify the key insights, and explain them in simple language, essentially transforming artificial intelligence into a personal research analyst that never gets tired and can process enormous amounts of information instantly. And this is only the beginning. Because another powerful life hack that many creators and entrepreneurs are discovering is the ability to generate ideas using AI. Something that used to be one of the most frustrating parts of any creative project. Since writers struggle with blank pages, businesses struggle with brainstorming sessions, and content creators often run out of ideas for videos or posts. But AI can now generate dozens of creative possibilities in seconds, giving you a massive list of concepts that you can refine, combine, or improve. And many viral YouTube videos, marketing campaigns, and startup concepts are now starting with exactly this process, where creators ask AI for dozens of suggestions and then select the most promising ones, dramatically accelerating the creative process and reducing the stress that normally comes with trying to invent something new from scratch. And perhaps one of the most transformative life hacks is using AI as a personal teacher, because traditional education has always followed a rigid structure, where one teacher explains a subject to many students at the same pace, regardless of their individual learning styles. But AI changes that dynamic completely by allowing anyone to ask questions, request simpler explanations, explore examples, and repeat concepts until they truly understand them, creating a personalized learning experience that adapts to the user instead of forcing the user to adapt to the system. And students around the world are already using AI to understand complex subjects like mathematics, programming, science, and economics faster than traditional methods, essentially turning artificial intelligence into a private tutor available 24 hours a day. And the impact of this capability may become enormous over the next decade, as people begin to realize that the internet, combined with AI, can create a form of self-education that is faster and more flexible than many formal institutions. But education and creativity are only part of the story, because AI is also transforming productivity in everyday life, especially when it comes to communication tasks like emails and messages. Something that millions of professionals deal with every single day. often spending hours writing responses, organizing information, and crafting messages that need to sound professional and clear. But AI can now generate emails instantly if you simply describe the intention of the message, meaning that a task that once required careful writing can now be completed in seconds, freeing time for more important activities. And this same principle extends into scheduling and productivity planning, where AI can analyze your goals for the day, week, or even month, and help create structured plans that optimize your time, suggesting when to focus on deep work, when to take breaks, and how to organize tasks in a way that reduces stress and increases efficiency, effectively acting as a digital productivity coach that helps you manage your energy and priorities. And when you combine these capabilities with AI-powered design tools, another powerful life hack appears: the ability to generate images and graphics simply by describing them in text, something that would have required expensive software and professional design skills only a few years ago. But now, anyone can create social media graphics, concept art, marketing visuals, or even YouTube thumbnails in seconds using AI image generators, dramatically lowering the barrier to entry for creative projects and allowing individuals to compete with much larger teams that once dominated visual production. And this democratization of design is already changing the way content is created on the internet, because small creators suddenly have access to tools that previously required entire departments inside large companies. But perhaps the most interesting life hack emerging from this AI revolution is using artificial intelligence as a strategic thinking partner, something entrepreneurs and innovators are beginning to experiment with more frequently, where instead of simply asking AI for information, they ask it to analyze business ideas, evaluate strategies, identify potential risks, and suggest improvements, effectively creating a brainstorming partner that can generate perspectives and insights that might not have been considered otherwise. And while AI is not perfect and still requires human judgment to evaluate its suggestions, the combination of human creativity and machine-generated analysis can produce surprisingly powerful results that accelerate the early stages of planning and experimentation. And this is why many experts believe the current moment represents the early phase of one of the largest technological shifts in modern history. Because artificial intelligence is not just a single invention, but a platform technology similar to the internet or smartphones, capable of transforming multiple industries at the same time, including healthcare, transportation, education, finance, entertainment, and scientific research. And major technology companies are investing billions of dollars into specialized hardware, data centers, and new algorithms designed to push AI capabilities even further, building the infrastructure that will support the next generation of intelligence systems. While governments around the world are funding research initiatives and national AI strategies in order to remain competitive in what is quickly becoming a global race for technological leadership, and this acceleration means that the tools available today are only the beginning of what will become possible over the next decade, as AI systems become more capable of understanding language, images, and real-world environments, eventually leading to intelligent assistants that can coordinate complex tasks, help manage businesses, and interact with digital services in ways that feel almost like working with another human being. And although this future may sound dramatic, it is already starting to appear in small ways through the life hacks people are discovering every day, where simple prompts unlock capabilities that once required specialized expertise. And the people who experiment with these tools early are beginning to develop entirely new workflows that allow them to move faster, learn faster, and create faster than ever before, which leads to an important realization about technological revolutions throughout history, because they rarely affect everyone equally at the same time. Instead, they create a temporary gap between those who adopt the new tools early and those who continue using the old methods. And during that gap, opportunities appear for individuals who are curious enough to explore the possibilities before the rest of the world catches up. And we saw this pattern during the early days of the internet, when people who understood websites and online businesses gained a huge advantage, while others dismissed the technology as a passing trend. And we saw it again with smartphones and social media platforms that created new industries for developers, influencers, and digital marketers who recognize the potential early. And now artificial intelligence may represent the next chapter in that pattern, a technology that begins as an experimental curiosity, but gradually becomes an essential part of everyday life, quietly reshaping the way people work, communicate, and create, until eventually it feels impossible to imagine the world without it. And for those paying attention today, the most important question is not whether AI will continue advancing, because the momentum behind it is already enormous, but rather how individuals can learn to use these tools effectively before they become so common that everyone has access to the same advantages. Because in the early stages of any technological revolution, the difference between those who experiment and those who ignore the change can be dramatic, and the simple life hacks that seem impressive today may soon become the basic skills of the future workforce, meaning that the people who practice them now are essentially preparing for a world where artificial intelligence becomes a normal extension of human capability rather than a mysterious technology reserved for experts. And if that future continues unfolding at the current pace, the next few years may produce innovations that feel almost unbelievable compared to the tools we are using today, making this moment a fascinating point in history, where curiosity and experimentation could open doors to opportunities that did not even exist just a few years ago. And perhaps the most exciting part of this entire transformation is the realization that the barrier to entry has never been lower, because many of the most powerful AI tools available today can be accessed with nothing more than a basic internet connection and the willingness to explore what is possible, which means the real advantage no longer belongs only to massive corporations or advanced laboratories, but also to individuals who are willing to learn, experiment, and adapt as quickly as the technology itself evolves.